Hello guys, it is Coco Boy here, and yeah, surprise surprise, my voice. You probably weren't expecting this, you probably were. Honestly, I don't really care because, well, I'm a small ass YouTuber who no one's gonna give a shit about, but regardless, I wanted to talk about a few things. Well, one thing mainly. And it was something that actually popped up recently. So, how did I come across it? Well, first of all, what am I gonna talk about? Well, I wanted to talk about the whole rework mercy movement, like, hashtag rework mercy. You probably have heard of it, you probably not, but I want to get into it because I've seen it pop up a lot recently via Twitter, YouTube, even my own teammates on like Overwatch would talk about it, and so I figured, you know what, I might as well give a little chat about it. So let's hop right into it. And obviously, right from the get-go, you're probably gonna be wondering, you're talking about Overwatch stuff, but yet you have PUBG gameplay. What's up with that? Hear me out. As I'm recording this, I was gonna get some Overwatch gameplay and get some Mercy gameplay, but apparently my Elgato had to be a little bitch and not want to record or not want to work. And so because of that, I have to use this PUBG footage, which was recorded like a month or two ago. So because of that, I'm just gonna roll with this. Now, as of the moment, if I ever get my Elgato working, pretty much on Overwatch, I don't know what my hours are on Mercy. I'm pretty sure they're not even that well. And last time I checked, I'm like plat, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm plat. So obviously you're probably gonna think, oh, okay, well you're plat, you don't play much Mercy. Why the fuck are you talking about it? Well, because of two things. One, because I fucking can, and two, I could see why people would go with this whole rework Mercy thing. Cause I'm gonna tell you a little story. When I first started off on Overwatch, I was terrible. We can all relate to that. When we first started Overwatch, we were awful at the game. And so because of that, I played two characters mainly at the time when the game first came out. I plainly made Reinhardt and of course Mercy. Now Mercy at the time was a pretty big deal. I mean, let's be honest, she was a big deal. You would always hope that someone would play Mercy on your team, and whenever they did, oh my god, it was satisfying. Well, whenever it didn't, well, okay, well, we're gonna lose. Regardless, people, I can understand. Alright? I know, I don't have a lot of Mercy hours. I'm not at a very good rank. I'm not even very well known in the Overwatch community. But regardless, I can see why people would talk about this. And I know I'm stuttering, alright? Be patient with me. But so over time, Mercy would become a player I would play here and there. Granted, I didn't play very much video games during the day. I would only play like an hour a day because of my time schedule. But still, it would feel like I played Mercy for such a long time along with Reinhardt, and eventually over time I would play with other heroes in Overwatch, but still would mainly focus on Reinhardt and of course Mercy. And let me tell you, for me, Mercy, she was a hero I could pick if I just wanted to just kick back, relax, and not have to worry too much. And because of that, Mercy would become a pick that I would always choose whenever I didn't want to, like stress out, or if I was just really tired, I would just play something that would allow me to like relax and kick back. And so because of that, that's what I did. And so with that, I ended up enjoying Mercy quite a lot. And obviously as time passes by, heroes come out, updates came out, and when I saw that Mercy's thing was when her ultimate was going to be reworked, I was like, oh, well that's, I mean, I don't know how to react to that, because at that time, I had stopped playing a lot of Mercy. I didn't really play her a whole lot. But when her rework came out, it was actually pretty fun. I liked the ultimate, and so because of that, I saw myself getting back on Mercy again, and then just getting bored and playing other heroes. And then obviously, as time goes on, you hear people like, not satisfied with like Mercy saying that, oh, she's weak, oh, she's powerful, that she's too powerful. This is the thing though, if we're talking about powerful, remember Roadhog when we were first out, Hook 1.0? Yeah, that thing was a fucking nightmare. Remember Mei? She was a bitch to play against back then, and even today she's a bitch to play against. Even to this day, I fear the Mei. Roadhogs, I can still fear them because, well, they're pretty scary, and if you're a squishy character, you're fucked. There's just no contact, you're just fucked. And then other heroes I'm trying to think of that were considered really powerful at the time. I can't really think of any right to remember, but I can think of new heroes that have come out. Like I've seen people complain about like Doomfist. I've seen people complain about a Brigitte. But the thing with Doomfist though is that why I can understand it and why I don't get so upset when I get killed by a Doomfist. It's because Doomfist has a pretty big learning curve. When you have to keep track of like 3 or 4 actions of a character, my brain just kind of short fuses. And then with Brigitte, well, yes, she's fun to play as. Playing against her is a fucking nightmare. And it can be really infuriating. But then again, over time, updates come out, heroes get balanced out. And with the upcoming update, which I'm pretty sure is going to be coming pretty soon, Brigitte is going to be changed once again. I don't know how it's going to play out, because I don't play a whole lot of Brigitte, because every time I play Brigitte, I feel like I'm violated. And every time I get a kill as Brigitte or play as Brigitte, I feel like it's cheap and it's not satisfying, so I just stopped playing Brigitte. You can hate on me all you want, I really couldn't care less. But really, the thing I really wanted to get into the most is that, have you not seen heroes in the past that have been pretty powerful? Mercy's hide and go seek and then res? Yeah, I'll admit, it would help a game or even save a game. But really, the thing you have to take into consideration is, well, 1, if you can kill the Mercy before she gets the res. And then 2, if you see that that enemies are starting to pile up, but that you can't find the Mercy, that's a good indicator that the Mercy's hiding. That was one thing I would always tell my teammates back in like quick play and all that. Which, by the way, I still play a lot of quick play. I play a lot of quick play now, because at this point I just quit competitive. I'm not quitting it like permanently, just for a while. Because at the same time though, I want to enjoy the game for fun. Because for me, Overwatch is, well, for fun. I don't see it as like an overly competitive game, what others do. For me, it's just not. If I want to just enjoy myself, Overwatch is the game to go. And because of that, regardless, win or lose, still be fun. But when you go in, but with other people, it's just, fun is not an option, and accepting defeat's not an option. But hey, that's just me, I'm getting off topic now. But as you can see, the movement that has been starting out working Mercy, it is an interesting concept, because, well, yes, I'm not a full-on Mercy player, and I'm not a high rank or stuff like that people would take into consideration. Oh, get on, son. 2-piece, Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, I won't do that. But one thing though, I will say this though. While I understand that where they're coming from into like the movement, the rework Mercy, however, the thing is though, but why? Why would you do that? Now, you're probably gonna kill me, but for me, on my take, Mercy, she's still playable. And she still is a very good pick to play. Heck, whenever I've even seen a lot of Mercies on my team, and this is on a competitive on a console. I don't know if it's the same on PS4 or like PC, because I know PC is a completely different thing. But this is from a console player's perspective. But hey, I'm a console. What are you gonna do? I have seen definitely quite a bit of Mercy players. I've even have played some Mercy here and there whenever I'm just like not caring, and she still is playable. She can still do a lot of good for her team, and she definitely does a good job on keeping the team up. But when it comes to like the meta that we're in right now, for a lot of people, they feel like she's lacking, and I can understand that why she would feel lacking. But for me, I don't really have much to complain about. I mean, she's still a good pick. If people want to pick her, I'm not gonna complain. I'll gladly take I'll take anyone to help out. Or if I want to be generous, I would play Mercy. And you know what? Fair enough. I'm helping out my team. People will enjoy that, and then there's no complaints. And while yes, it may seem like I don't really agree with this whole movement. However, at the same time though, I am understanding. And I do have my fair share of ideas to how to make Mercy just a little better, just a little bit. But however, they are just my ideas and my opinions, and not everyone's gonna agree with it. As for what they are, I'll probably just get into it at the end. But as of right now, this movement, over time, it has gotten a little bit bigger, and it has been getting more recognition from others. And because of that, I figured, well, I'd give my take on it. And Mercy, she's still, while yes, she's not as picked as often, she still does get picked. I still have seen plenty of Mercies. And she still does do a very good job on keeping the game together and keeping the team alive. But however, I can see why people would feel that she's lacking on utility. Because let's take the other heroes for example. Obviously, one big competitor for a lot of people is Moira and Mercy. With Moira, from what I've heard, she has higher healing per second. She has her little healing and damage orbs. She has Fade, which allows her to not only get away, get speed, but be invulnerable. Mercy, well, yeah, she can use her Guardian Angel, but she needs a teammate to be in her line of sight, and she's not invulnerable when using the Guardian Angel. She can still get shot out of the sky pretty easily. And with that, and when it comes to ultimates, Moira for a lot of people is just hands down better. Both heals a good amount and damages a good amount. I mean, what's not to like it? And Mercy is, while yes, it can heal multiple, it doesn't heal as much as Moira's ultimate. And unlike Moira, who actually surprisingly moves faster than Mercy while she's flying around in the air, because of that, she can become quite a sitting duck for hit scan heroes. So because of that, Moira and Mercy, for a lot of people, it's just no contest. Moira just brings a lot more. And then, let's take a look at the next heroes, like Lucio and then Mercy. While Lucio, yes, may not have as much healing, however, when you take a speed boost and then amp it up into the equation, he brings a good amount of utility. Not only that too, but he's a character that can actually both deal damage and heal at the same time. With Mercy, you can only do one at a time. You either gotta use your staff to heal, or you gotta pull out your pistol to deal damage, but you can't heal. And when you pull out that pistol, for some reason, a lot of people in your team just don't get very happy with that. So because of that, I always just keep that pistol in my pocket. But with that in mind, with Lucio, with his amplet up, we'll do a good amount of healing. Because, amplify it up. And then speed boost, that's just a good way to not only get around quicker and move your team around, but also, not only that too, but to get your teammates, out of a pickle, get them out of a sticky situation. And with his ultimate, that's just basically a saving. Soundbearer, 750 shields. I mean, come on. That could probably stop an ultimate or two from wiping out your team. And so when you take Mercies, well, if someone takes a high amount of damage, that's not going to save them. And so with that, with Lucio, though at first glance he may not seem as good, however, when you take in these considerations that I just mentioned, it does once again seem like a good choice to go with Lucio rather than Mercy. And then of course we have Ana. Now Ana's a little bit of a tricky one because she does take more skill because you actually have to aim and shoot your teammates. But from what I've noticed, the hit boxes on your on teammates are a lot bigger. So because of that, you're not punished as badly for when you miss. You can still miss a little bit and still hit your targets. And then not only that too, but with 75 heals a shot, and you combine that with a bio nade, and then with other healers around, that's just a massive amount of healing. Not only that too, but you can use your bio nade to anti-heal say an enemy tank. And so because of that, if they're low on health and they're antied, well, that's just a free pick for you to take. I mean, they're going down. And then Sleep Dart is the one way to not only stop someone from harassing you, but to also get your teammates get your teammates to your position to take them out, or for you to just Sleep Dart and just run away, just get out of there. And so because of that, while with Ana, yeah, she takes a little bit more skill. A lot of people will steer more towards Ana than Mercy, and I will be honest, I have done that a few times. Yeah. And then finally, we'll take a look at a, sorry about that. We'll take a look at a Zenyatta. Now, Zenyatta is an interesting one, because a lot of people see him as a healer that can do a good amount of DPS, and rightfully so. Not only can he heal, but he can also do damage, so he can just place an orb on like a teammate, and then he doesn't really have to worry too much. He can just put on an orb, and then he can do a discord, and he can just start, doing a call out on a discorded enemy, and just like launch his balls at him. Yeah, I know, that's childish, but what are you gonna do? And with those things in mind, the healing and then damaging, and then those damage boosts for your teammates, I mean, come on. And then his ultimate, just like the Lucio, it's gonna save you quite a bit. Maybe not immediately from like a super high, like a damaging ult, say like a Diva Bomb or a Junker Riptire, but maybe from like a Dragon Strike or like say like a Rocket Barrage or a Death Blossom. And then when you take Mercies into consideration, once again, since Zen's does like a high amount of healing and Mercy not as much, there's really not a whole lot of contest there. And then Brigitte, granted, I wouldn't know a whole lot because I don't play a whole lot of Brigitte, but from what I've seen, she can be a good way to like get your teammates out of a pickle. Like, oh, teammates getting sandwiched, just boop them out of there, and then use your flail whip to get them to back off far away. And then you have your shield, which you can use to block a damage from your teammates. Granted, not a whole lot of damage, but it's something. And then like a armor pack, the repair pack, I mean. That thing can instantly do can heal quite amount of health pretty quickly. And so with that in mind, a good amount of health, and with Inspire, like damaging heroes, well, yeah, you have to be in the action. But from what I've seen, that amount of healing, it could be a pretty good. And then Rally, well, yes, there could be some debate on this. Getting basically armor and faster movement for pretty much everyone. Well, faster movement for Brigitte, not everyone else. But with getting like 100 amount of like armor, I mean, that's a good way to increase like your teammate's survivability. It's like when Symmetra had her shield generator, like 75 shields. I mean, that's just gonna increase your odds of winning the fight. Granted, it's not around anymore, and we have the what's it called, Rally, but still, it is a good ultimate, and it should not be taken lightly. And then with Mercies, it's still good ultimate. Like both are comparatively. Once again, there is debate on this. I don't really have a preference. I wouldn't know a whole lot on this between Mercy's ult and then Brigitte's ult, because granted, I don't play a whole lot of Brigitte to begin with. Whenever I do play Brigitte, it's mainly to just, like mess around and troll and stuff like that, because, well, that's what Brigitte is. She's a way to just mess with enemies and just troll them. And so with that in mind, however, when you take all of the options, Mercy, well, yes, still very good and still a good pick. However, you could do more with these other heroes, and because of that, people tend to go with these other heroes to do more rather than Mercy. And Mercy, while yes, she does have her res that people do complain about a good amount every once in a while, but still, res can be either a lifesaver or it just gives the enemies another free kill. It can go either way. And so with that in mind, however, obviously people do not like res, which is one factor on why Mercy would get changed often, and how like her pick rate was high at the start. And I will admit, it is kind of like a shame to see that Mercy's pick rate isn't as high as it used to, even though I still see a lot of Mercies. Granted, I'm probably just like getting lucky and just seeing Mercies, but I don't know how it is for you people. And look at this guy trying to shoot me, and I can't even see this dude. Like, I don't know if you guys can see him, but I can't fucking see him. So because of that, I'm just like, where the fuck do I do? I can't see this dude. So because of that, I'm just like on the ground and like, oh god, I gotta do something. And I know I'm getting off track again. I'm paying attention to my PUBG gameplay. Just roll with it here, okay? Okay, good. All right, back to the subject at hand. But I will say this though. People want to rework Mercy, right? Because, well, they feel like she's lackluster. I know I mentioned this, but... And I can see that. I mean, with all the other heroes' options, they just seem like they give more and they have more utility. But with that in mind, wouldn't it be nice to have a couple of options, or maybe some, changes here and there? Like the ideas that I talked about, even though I was gonna meant to say like I'll talk about it at the end. I guess I might as well talk about them now. So one idea I did have in mind for for like a change in mercy, make it to where make it to where it's like to make it to where it's stuttering. Anyway, where was I? Make it to where a teammates that are critical health can gain a 70 heals per second, and just for when they're critical health. Once they're no longer in critical health, it'll just go back to 50. So it's a good way to save your teammates and keep them from dying. Another good rework, another good option I also did have in mind that I think could go well is you can make it to where Mercy receives like 5 or like 10% less damage when using like Guardian Angel. That probably seems pretty powerful, so I don't I won't find it surprised if you disagree with that, but that was just one idea I had. Another option I did also I also have an idea of. I don't know if this is in the game, but I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you my idea. Is to make it to where Mercy, whenever she's healing a teammate, she automatically starts healing herself. So like, oh hey, I'm healing you, and as you're healing your teammate, you start healing yourself. Get on, son. And as you heal your teammates, if you're low on health or you're taking damage, you start healing yourself up again. So because of that, it'll keep you alive longer in the fight. And and pretty much those are the only like things I really have. I do have one idea for like her ultimate. Maybe make it to where the healing goes up to like 65 or 70, because like the 70 like critical health healing idea that I had. But once again, that is kind of just like my idea. I don't expect you to agree with it, but that was one thing I did have in mind. And then maybe make it, if you can, make it to where she moves just a little bit faster. So that way she has she can evade danger a little bit easier. Not a whole lot faster, maybe just like 3 or 5% faster. I know that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but it's something, so anything. It's just my ideas, anything helps. But with those ideas in mind, if they did go into effect, maybe, just maybe, in my opinion, maybe Mercy would actually see a lot more like a lot more picking, and she would actually be picked a lot more often. Maybe, maybe not. People do have their own ideas, and these are just mine, but you can let me know what you think. One other thing I did also have in mind, and this was extremely optional, but give Mercy like an additional an additional ability. Like some heroes have like 2, 3, and in some cases 4 evenly. Why not give Mercy like a third option? Like Mercy right now has her res, and she has her Guardian Angel. What about for a third ability? You can make it to where what's it called? I had it in my head, but I kind of forgot it. Oh well, I'll get back to it later. But as of right now, those are just my ideas, and even though I can't come up with a third ability which I think would go well, I remembered it a while ago, but now I forgot it, so I'll just go back, I'll just try and talk about it later. But in the meantime, if you guys do agree with it, you can try and let me know. If you don't agree with it, let me know again, tell me what you would do differently. And obviously, for Rework Mercy, people are coming up with a lot of these ideas on how to rework her. Some people are saying to convert her back to like a like day one Mercy, like with like the 6-man res ultimate. And while I can understand that, it at the same time though can cause a lot of frustration with people in the community. Because well, let's be honest, a 6-man res. Yeah, it could be pretty powerful, but however, at the same time, though, there is a counter to this. It could be just another way to if your enemies to like basically just get more kills. Because this has happened to me a few times when Mercy was still in like day one Mercy, or I would res my entire team, like I would res 5 of my teammates, only to have them like get wiped out by another ultimate again. And that kind of made me feel silly, and I got killed in the process. But things tend to happen, and obviously people don't like having to bring another ultimate just to kill the same team again that they just killed like 10 seconds ago. But with how the meta is right now and how people play the game, I mean, does it really seem all that powerful? I mean, it might seem. I'm not gonna complain with you there, but I mean, it's just that is kind of like a risky choice to like take. I've seen other people actually come up with really good ideas for Mercy changes. I for some reason didn't take screenshots of them, and I don't remember that many of them, but I have seen a fair share of good ones, alright? And trust me, if you would actually read them, whether you're a Mercy player or not, you would actually agree that, yeah, it seems pretty good. And then finally, obviously, the one thing I did actually did want to mention about is that overall, what do I think? Well, even though I'm not much of a Mercy player, I can understand where people are coming from. And so with that in mind, I wouldn't go against Mercy getting a rework. Or if Mercy doesn't get a rework, I mean, I'm not gonna really complain much. But however, I can't understand, and I can't even witness firsthand that Mercy, while yes, she is good and she's still usable, she can feel a little lackluster and not as like not bring as much compared to other healers. And so because of that, a rework for some people might not seem, that bad of an idea. It might seem like actually a really good idea. But the thing is, though, if she does get a rework, though, there's two things that could happen, or actually, three things. One is that she gets a rework, and it makes her a lot more powerful. But people complain about how powerful she is, and because of that, a new controversy begins. Two, the rework actually ends up being really bad, and it makes Mercy even worse, and people complain even more that Mercy now is even worse than how she was before. Or three, the rework pretty much doesn't change her status in Overwatch, and she just remains at the same position that she's in right now. Like she's picked off. She's picked sometimes, but not a whole lot. And so with that in mind, we kind of need to be a little careful about what we ask for, because, while yes, we have good ideas, we do have to take into consideration that we're not the developers, Blizzard are, and we can give feedback, yes, but at the end of the day, most of this is Blizzard's decision whether or not they want to like go through a rework or not, or like take the community's like decisions or like feedback or not. And so because of that, we do just kind of have to like we do just have to like wait and see. Yeah, we can talk about it and we can like bring up this like a rework and like retweet it over and over, but at the end of the day, while yes, we can talk about it, there is not a guarantee that it will either come or it will be the rework that we want. So just keep that in mind, and hopefully until then we'll just have to be a little patient. But regardless, when the time comes, we will know. Until then, we just gotta wait around. But overall, yeah, I can see it. And so because of that, Blizzard, if you want to, you can rework Mercy. If you don't want to, I mean, that's fine. I'm not really gonna complain because I'm not one to complain all that often. Even though I do tend to be a little bitch and get mad quite as easily when I play games and like when I'm in public and stuff like that. But that's just me. But really, at the end of the day, though, while Mercy, yeah, is good. I mean, will the rework make a difference? Yes, no, maybe. We have no clue. All we can do is just say speculate and just hope for the best. But yeah. If you want to, you can like retweet this video or like retweet the whole like rework Mercy movement. But obviously, if you don't agree with this, or if you think yeah, you agree with this, let me know and just like retweet it. I know some people are gonna agree with this, some people aren't. But at the end of the day, though, I mean, like, these are our choices. I mean, do we want Mercy to be reworked, or do we want her to just stay the way she is? Because, once again, a lot of this is, like, our opinion. Like, yeah, people have different opinions. Some people will agree, some people will disagree, and so because of that, we do need to be a little careful. But if a Blizzard does acknowledge this, because I have seen some bigger like Overwatch channels like your Overwatch actually talk about the rework Mercy like situation, and like props to them. I mean, like, yeah, I know that sounded wrong. Okay, I'll stop. I promise. But it was cool for you, like like, oh, your Overwatch to like taking knowledge of like the movement, because I didn't think it would be something that they would do. Granted, they took the Nerf Bridget thing into consideration. They have talked about it, so I don't know why I said that, why they would like do that, but you know, that's just me being stupid as always. But at the end of the day, though, well, rework Mercy, it's understandable. Rework nerf delete Bridget, it's understandable. A lot of opinions, they're all understandable if you can see it from their perspective. Not everyone can see it from their perspective or your perspective or of others, but just give it time, retweet it, talk about it, share it, and then who knows? We might actually get some views, or we might even get some confirmation from the dev team themselves. I don't know if they would. Maybe, maybe not. That's kind of really up to theirs. And you'll have to excuse my terrible aim. That's what happens when you play PUBG on console. And it's what happens when you play PUBG, but you don't play it very often. Oh, watch this. Watch. It's just gonna try and chuck a grenade. It's like, okay, what's he gonna do? And then out of nowhere, if it ends up happening, I know what happens at some point, but I don't know when it's gonna happen. Oh yeah, there it is. I'm like, oh fuck. I don't know how I didn't take damage from that, but I live another day. Even though pretty soon I do end up dying, but once again, that's end up me being off topic because I'm just a big giant, butthole like always. Yeah, I know. For me, trying to talk for a long time is kind of difficult, but hopefully you did find this conversation, somewhat enjoyable, and hopefully that, like you agree with some of the things I said. If you agree, then hey, thumbs up, leave a comment. If you disagree, I'm still gonna thumbs you up, leave a comment. I want to take other people's perspective and their opinions into this whole process, because not everyone will think the same. But yeah, my ideas of making it to where critical teammates can get 75 heals per not 75, 70 heals per second. But just for critical. Once they're no longer critical, they go back to 50 or 60 or whatever it is. I think it's 50. And then make it to where Guardian Angel takes a slightly reduced damage when she's using it. Another thing she could also try and do is make it to where when in Valkyrie mode she moves just slightly faster, just slightly. And then make it to where when she's healing teammates, she automatically starts healing herself immediately. I know with all of those, if you combine all of those, she might seem like really strong. She might still seem mediocre, and it might not help. She might not even change at all for some of you, but those are just my ideas. Granted, I can understand that they're not very good, but that's just me trying to come up with ideas without going too far. Cause at the same time, though, we do want heroes to be balanced, not crazy, powerful and just unfair to play against. May Brigitte. Even though I don't play a lot of Brigitte to begin with, so I don't really know what I'm judging about. But regardless, I do hope you enjoy this this little thing I wanted to talk about. I know I stuttered a lot and I repeated a lot of things. I'm sorry, I can't really help it. It's just me, being a little dummy as always. Oh, and wait, I hear something. I'm trying to drink up my little Red Bull, and then watch this guy as I'm drinking my little Red Bull and taking my my painkillers. This dude tries to come up to the door and he's just gonna be like, "You what up, bitch?" And I'm just like, "Nope, sit your ass down." Yeah, boy. And yeah, this is pretty much the part where I die. I'm just like, okay, I gotta get the cover and I gotta heal. I did not see the guy by the tree because I'm an idiot, and then he ends up throwing a grenade at me, and what do you know? I die. Don't you just love it when you get that happens? Random nade, even though you probably should have seen it coming, and you just die. And then this guy who ended up killing me, he ended up taking the win. You know what? GG. I should have been more prepared, but I made it to the top 3, so I'm not really gonna complain with that, but that's all I really have to say. Thanks for watching, and if you liked this video, like, subscribe, and just whatever. And then I'll see you guys soon.